Well, hello there, everybody. It has been extremely busy over here at the horror headquarters. It has been a lot of mayhem, but we are here, and as you guys can probably tell by the title of this episode, we are talking about one of my least favorite things in the world, which are thunderstorms. Now, you're going to find out why, but I'm just going to tell you kind of a story about an experience that we had with thunderstorms and how it relates to horror, because this one's a good one. This one happened about a year ago, around the same time, August, because August is known for its thunderstorms and rainfall and crazy tornadoes. So I'm just gonna walk you through a story, an experience that I had that still freaks me out. And you guys are gonna find out why I hate thunderstorms to a point. I'm going to be talking about it, and then if I don't get everything out, I'll probably make a follow-up episode, but I'm pretty sure I'll get a good amount of it out. So sit back, relax. Thank God we're finally doing this, and let's dive right in. All right, now don't get me wrong, I absolutely love when there's a little bit of thunder and some rain. It's very peaceful. I absolutely love it. But when it comes to thunder combined with lightning, I am an absolute no-no. And say it or call it what you want, I am the biggest wuss because I am absolutely terrified of it. And you're gonna find out why, and then I'm gonna tell a little bit of story, like I said. So a little bit for the reason why I hate thunderstorms is because I am partially deaf in my left ear because of a thunderstorm. Now let me explain before you guys start assuming and thinking I'm crazy. When I was at my childhood home, I was about maybe 12, 13 years old. I was outside on the front porch, just running around in the grass, enjoying life, and the sky turned really green. And I'm like, all right, I think it's gonna rain, so gotta head inside. So I was playing with a soccer ball at the time. Picked it up, I'm walking in. There was a ginormous lightning strike right next to our house. It was at a light pole. So it's like a pole if you guys don't live in the suburbs. There's like lights everywhere that make sure everything's illuminated. It struck the pole and I ended up collapsing to the floor. Landed on my left ear, but I could not hear for maybe 5 hours. And I just remember running into the house, yelling to my mom, like, I can't hear, I'm freaking out, I don't know what's going on. And I just was like panicking. Till this day, my left hearing is not so great, so I guess you guys could say I'm extremely traumatized by that moment. And a lot of people didn't believe me. Fun fact that I am slightly deaf. Like, it's not horribly, horribly bad, but I can definitely tell there's an imbalance in between my right and left ear. So I went and got tested, and they put you in this room where, like, they put you noises and you click a button if you hear it, and if you don't, obviously you don't click anything. I go out and the lady tells me that I do have issues with my hearing in my left ear. She like showed me like this wavelength and it was dipped on my left ear. And that's when people started to finally believe me. And I explained to her why. I said I think it's because of this thunder this lightning strike that happened next to my house when I was outside. I think the sound of it just popped my eardrum and it made irreversible damage. She said that it is very possible that that could be the reason. She didn't give me any other reasons, but that's what we're going on, and I believe with all my gut that that is the reason why I cannot hear in my left ear. It's kind of sad, but that's why I hate thunderstorms. And I also hate loud noises, especially. So when there's a loud thunderclap, it freaks me out, you guys. I you guys are gonna think I'm a baby. I literally go in my room and like go under the sheets of my bed and just like start blasting Ariana Grande music so I don't hear it because it freaks me out. I just remember so many sleepless nights of me waking up because of a thunderclap that scared the living hell out of me. So I don't like it. My family loves them, but I don't, especially my mother. If there's a huge storm happening, you can bet that she's gonna be outside in the eye of it, enjoying it all. She's just like that. She loves it. She's Coco. I love her though. I mean, if you enjoy it, that's fine. I love rain. Like everyone's gonna think I hate rain and thunder. A little bit of rain, a little bit of thunder is fine. If there is loud noises, I am a no-show. It is not going to happen. But that's where we lead into this story. And being that there is also a severe thunderstorm heading our way right now, I found it to be the perfect time to discuss this with you guys. So, we're going to talk about a story that we had a year ago, August 2023. I don't remember the exact date, but it was a night that I will never forget. So I was looking outside, and you guys could obviously tell that there was a storm coming. I'm like, big fat storm. American Horror Story Asylum. So that's always a tradition. Anytime there's a severe thunderstorm heading our way, I always put on Nor'easter. I don't know what episode of Asylum it is, but it's definitely in the beginning. It's always tradition now. I just play it, and while the thunderstorm is ensuing, I put my headphones on to try to shut out the noise. I mean, that and Ariana Grande. But it's become tradition. I absolutely love Asylum. I cannot talk about enough about that season. I'm definitely gonna have to spill my guts out about that season when I invite Maggie to talk about it. So, Maggie, if you're listening to this, hit me up. I would love to start discussing American Horror Story and like taking it one season at a time, literally, because every season is so good, except for Death Valley. We don't talk about that. But so there was like a big storm coming, big fast storm, and I'm just sitting in my room, just doing my normal shenanigans, and then I hear a loud noise coming from downstairs, like when there's a severe thunderstorm, and it comes up on the screen like severe thunderstorm. I'm like, all right, we're prepared, like let's just get the flashlights out and everything. As we're doing this, the lights start to flicker, and I'm like, oh jeez. I'm like, okay, let's just make sure we have everything. Hopefully the storm will pass and our power won't go out. Anyway, some time passes, and I think this is the perfect time to start filming for the short film that I'm releasing this October, you guys. So you're gonna see some of those scenes, some of those thunder scenes, rain scenes. It is from this night. Very, very great inside story, like very exclusive that you guys are hearing right now. No one else is gonna know this. Is gonna know this unless I listen to the episode. But some of the, or most of the lightning scenes and like thunderstorm scenes that you guys see in the film are from this day. So I went up, I set my camera up, and I just pointed it towards the window. I adjusted for like brightness and everything, and I press play. As soon as I do, like it's going on, the power goes out while it's happening. And like everyone like starts to freak out, and I like get up, go downstairs, and I completely forget to turn off my camera. Which I'm kind of happy I didn't, but I wish I did because then something occurred. I go down, I'm like getting a flashlight. I come back and my camera is suddenly dead. And I'm like really pissed off because I literally just charged it. And I'm going to take off the battery. Don't forget the window shades are open, everything it's looking through. As I'm taking the battery out, there's a big lightning strike and the flash like blinds me in a way and it freaks me out and I fall to the floor. And in this process, the camera tips over and hits my head. So I just start freaking out, and I'm like, can't see nothing because, like I said, this is at night, and it's like pitch black. And I'm like looking for the flashlight I brought up with me. I finally find it at the top of my drawer, pick it up, and I'm like cleaning up the mess, praying I didn't break the camera or the lens. Thankfully, the camera fell backwards, so that was fine. Anyways, the reason I wish I had turned it off is because there was something that was caught in the video. It wasn't a person. Don't worry, it wasn't a person. But there was a couple of loud booms coming from the window. And I hear this footage on my camera and I'm thinking, okay, what the heck is going on? Like, did someone break into the house? Is it hail? What could it be? And it's like pouring and pouring and pouring, and the lights are starting to flicker even more. And like, obviously the power was out, but like it kept coming back and on and back and on. It literally was like a horror film. It was a nightmare. So I start to walk out of the room, and as soon as I do, three more booms hit the window, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Who is trying to come into my house? Like, what is this sorcery? I go back and make sure the windows are closed because I'm thinking maybe they're open. Maybe that's why I'm hearing that. And along with these booms, there's like all this thunder happening, and you can tell it's intensifying because with every lightning flash, you hear the thunder like almost immediately after. I'm like, okay, it's getting very close. We got to prepare. We got to do this and that. And then there's a really loud thunderclap. And with the thunderclap, there's a loud collapse in our backyard. It was a tree. A ginormous tree that, thank God, missed our house, but it fell in the woods because, like I told you, we live in the woods, right next to the woods. And it fell and it caused like a loud boom. All these branches were falling. They were hitting we have a sunroom and it was hitting the roof of the sunroom. It was like a nightmare, you guys. And I'm pretty sure a tornado happened that night. Anyways, in the process of all of this, everyone's freaking out. I go to my room to grab my phone and my computer glitches, which makes no sense because the power wasn't on, but I think it's because the lights kept flickering, like I told you. It glitches, and all you hear is Sister Mary Eunice saying, "The mailman," and then turning off again. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Cursed episode now. But yeah, it freaked me out. What is happening? Sorry, there's someone yelling downstairs that really freaked me out. I'm like, is there a ghost in here? But so, anyways, all that stuff happens. But I have to say, the creepiest thing happened that night is the storm is starting to intensify even worse. It's like reaching a peak, I guess you could say. And I start hearing this very loud, obnoxious screaming outside. And I'm like yelling to my mother. I'm like, Mom, is someone screaming outside? And she's like, What? I'm like, Do you hear someone screaming outside? And she's like, No, what are you talking about? And I look outside and I see these two people booking it on the middle of the street, like screaming their lungs out, going insane. And I'm thinking, worst case scenario, someone just got killed by a tree, someone got struck, like what is going on? And I'm freaking out. So I get dressed, I put on my robe, and like the rain is starting to die down, obviously, at this point. Going outside and throw my robe on, and I look down the street, and there's a tree that has collapsed on a car. And I'm thinking, worst case scenario, someone's trapped in the car. That's why they're freaking out. Thankfully, that was not the situation. I ended up walking over, talking to the neighbors, which we know very well. And they said, no, no one was in the car. Thankfully, we just caused a stir because there was people that were outside when the tree fell because they were just arriving home. And they had thought that it had fell on a car that someone was at. So that was the whole situation. Like everyone, it was taken care of. Later that night, another storm hit, or it just intensified once again. So during this night, very, very, very fun fact, I started having visions of the film that I'm making right now. Now, this isn't the first time that I dreamt of this dream because I have been working on this film for maybe a year and a half when this was going on. Now it's been over 2 years. But I thought of some really great scenes to incorporate into the film. So the next day, I wrote them all down, and just recently, I started putting them into action. And yeah, just so much came out of it, but just so many horrific things. It's like the knocking on the windows, all the different noises, hearing whispers, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of making itself into the film. It's making its debut in this film. Sadly, so many unanswered questions from that night. The knocking on the windows, all the different noises, the camera collapsing on me even though I didn't tip it over, the whispers, so many different aspects. And it's hard to look past it. I mean, I wish I had a solution for why it was all like that. It could be the rain hitting against the window. It could just be the thunderclaps shaking the windows. I don't know. I guess it's open to interpretation, but I am haunted by that day. I'm haunted by the idea that someone was possibly knocking on the window. It's probably wasn't that. Probably was just my imagination. Probably was just hearing things. This is something that like I'm being 100% serious on because I don't have enough context to give a proper solution. With other things like Annabelle, yes, I have a proper solution because I witnessed it firsthand and I had witnesses there. That's why I'm able to give a proper solution on it. But with things that are like this that are very, very thin and I don't know if it's real or not, I'm gonna leave it open to interpretation to you guys, and I am probably going to meditate more on this because I do find meditation to be a very helpful aspect of this kind of stuff. You guys might think I'm crazy for that, but it's just to get some answers. Now, that doesn't mean I'm gonna contact the dead or contact demons and go into hell. No. I just do that to kind of recall the moment, try to remember what was going on to the best of my ability. Not saying I'm gonna remember it crystal clear, but if you've never done meditation, you would know why I'm using it. And I also love using tarot cards. Tarot cards are literally my new best friend. There's gonna be a whole episode on tarot cards. I love them tremendously. I've just started getting into them. I've obviously done research on them and like learning how to use them, how to interpret certain things. Yeah, it's been a joy with all this. I guess all these thunderstorms and everything have introduced me to so many other things to look into. So like that's why I say it's both a good and bad thing. But like I said, so many unanswered questions that hopefully will be answered one day. But until then, we have this crazy story about how I lost part of my hearing in my left ear, and this other story where you guys were going to be sitting. We guys are going to be seeing footage. I cannot speak today in the film. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, before I end this episode, I do want to give a little bit of a reminder or kind of PSA. There's a lot happening in the world, so please be kind. There's so much tragedy happening overseas, excuse me, um, in Gaza. It's absolutely devastating to see the images coming out. It's breaking my heart, and that's one of the reasons why these episodes are so delayed because it definitely is a lot for everyone to take in, especially being someone that has a lot of family that's being affected, not just in that area, but specifically in Lebanon because that is my home country, and it's breaking my heart. Obviously, you don't have to be Muslim. You don't have to know someone over there to be devastated with what's going on. You just have to have a heart. That's it. In just continuing advocacy for it all to stop, for Palestinians to live freely without the fear of being killed. I mean, just looking at these images, hearing the stories, seeing the video footage is breaking my heart. And I'm sure it is for so many of you guys. I hate to get deep and like be like very, I guess you could say political, even though this is something that everyone should be upset about, everyone should be worried about and very hesitant and sensitive. Just be empathetic. And not to say this is the only genocide happening. There's also one happening in Sudan, in Congo. There's really horrible things happening in Hawaii, in Venezuela right now. Just so much pain happening around the world. And just be kind, be loving, be empathetic, educate yourselves. And when I say educate yourselves, don't look at the news. Look at actual history books, proper history books, because a lot of them are BS. Or just talk to someone from over there. Talk to multiple people. Get a proper input. Look at the history of Palestine. Look at the history of all the things that have been going on. This is for anything, even Sudan, Congo, all these other places suffering. Look into the history, please. Now, don't just skim the surface of it. Go on a notable website and educate yourself. Like I said, I am doing this because I have a platform. I am doing this because it's important, and I am in pain with so many other people, and my pain will never, ever, ever equal the pain that people around the world are going through. So I just continue to pray, and I ask that you please pray for them as well. Anyone around the world suffering, whether you know someone directly suffering, whether you know someone going through a really difficult time, just be there for them. Be kind. Be there. Be present. Enjoy life to the fullest. And once again, please be kind. Please. We just have to have respect for people and have kindness and have these conversations. And I wish for everyone out there suffering, no matter who you are, where you live, what ethnicity you are, what religion you are, I pray that you find safety, that you find comfort, and that you are at peace soon. I love you guys all so much. Thank you for listening to this episode. Sorry, I just got very sympathetic and empathetic, but like I said, I have a platform, so I have to talk about it. Everyone, please hug your loved ones. Thank you again, once again, for listening to this episode. I am super, super grateful for this platform that I've been given, that I'm still using for nearly a year after beginning. I can't wait for so many great things coming down um, the road. My film releasing. I'm so proud of this film. I have so many episodes planned for October and September, and then of course the anniversary episode. I have something very special happening. So there's just a lot to look forward to, and I hope you guys all enjoy everything that is to come. Thank you again so much for the support. Please follow me on Instagram at the Horror Headquarters and like all our social media. It is linked in the description on this episode. If you are listening on YouTube, thank you so much for making that the biggest platform that we have till date. That is absolutely insane. I wasn't even going to be uploading anything to YouTube, and now we have about 115 subscribers over there. That is crazy. That is insane. And you guys are streaming the episodes like crazy. So thank you so much. I hope to continue to expand and reach new horizons and, do different things. We'll see what happens. Once again, very blessed. And guys, don't forget to get the merch. Amazing merch. Very comfy. Um, I know the prices are really expensive. I'm trying to work around the clock to bring them down. So if price is an issue, please DM me and I will take that into consideration. I'm also going to be doing a poll on my Instagram to see what is holding back people from purchasing the shirt, if it's shipping costs, if it's the price of the shirt, or just the style. And I really appreciate feedback. I love feedback from you guys because it's obviously very important if you want to continue to thrive, because it's the people that continuously make this podcast come to life. So, once again, thank you guys for listening. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your week. If you guys have a thunderstorm coming up, play AHS Asylum. And until next time, tread very lightly and pray for forgiveness. Midnight hour is approaching.